All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome. It's Wednesday, November 24th, 2021. This is DeFi Talks with DeFi Dad. Today, I'm joined by Alan, the founder of Beta Finance. Alan's joined me previously to talk about Beta Finance, which is a permissionless money market. It's for the usual lending, borrowing, but also shorting, which I think is one really unique value add of the protocol. But what we're going to talk about today is the liquidity mining program, which has been live for, I think, a little over a month or so. There are some really high yields there for, in some cases, depositing single assets. So I thought it would be really helpful to highlight this as folks are, searching for high yield opportunities. And also, at the end of the day, this is all about a token distribution program for those that are interested in a permissionless money money market protocol. So anyways, Alan, thanks for joining me. I know we're right up against the holidays here, so appreciate you making the time.
Yeah, likewise. I'm really glad to be here again, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Thanks. Yeah, we're just one day out here. Well, hey, congrats on the protocol having launched. Again, it was I think it was about a month ago, right? Yeah, and
about a month ago.
And that's that was the token launch. So it goes back to August that the actual lending, borrowing, shorting was available. I kind of summarized it, but do you want to share anything else more about what is Beta Finance itself? And also, if I can start to share your screen if you'd like, just to kind of walk people through how that works, and then we can talk through the liquidity mining.
Sounds good. Yeah, you can share my screen now. And then just to give everyone kind of a quick refresher on what Beta Finance is, we're a permissionless money market protocol for lending, borrowing, and shorting. And what that means is that anyone can create a money market for any token whenever they want automatically, as long as there's a Uniswap v3 pair. So, for example, some of the markets that we've created through permissionless listing are the MVI token, the BED token, the E2X token, and also the Beta token as well, because these tokens are not supported by Chainlink oracles. But for example, if you want to see quickly how you create a market, just pass in the token address, and then you'll be able to see this card here, which will allow you to create a money market for that token. And then it'll walk you through the steps to create that. And then the other part is that we allow people to lend, borrow, and short. So in addition to lending and borrowing, as you see in traditional money markets, you're also able to short a token. So say if you click the short button, then you'll be able to pull to our interface that allows you to really easily just initiate a short position without having to understand everything that happens in the back or manage all these different interactions that are necessary when initiating a short position. And so, yeah, that's a quick overview of what Beta Finance is and what we're trying to build.
Here we go. Alan, so why don't we talk then about the different yield opportunities here? Basically, what are you rewarded for right now in terms of the Beta rewards? What do you have to do to earn those on this page here?
Yeah, for sure. So recently, actually, today we just launched a new liquidity mining period for our new markets. So we just announced a partnership with Indexed Co-op to list a few of their indexed tokens, which are shown here, like DPI, MVI, BED, and E2X FLI. And just for some context, these index tokens measure a basket of crypto assets. For example, DPI is an index of DeFi tokens, MVI is a basket of metaverse tokens, and BED kind of is composed of ETH, BTC, and DPI. And so the reason why we're interested in these tokens is because now, instead of, for example, users to have to initiate a short position for every token they hold, they can now short one of these tokens and hedge against their assets. And so instead of 10 interactions, you just need one interaction now. So again, simplifying the user experience and also enabling people to take on more interesting strategies when hedging their position at risk. And so now the fun part, which is how do you earn yields with these tokens? And so as you can see right now, the yields on these markets are like very high. Like there's over 100,000 beta deposited right now, and the APY for depositing is over 1,000% right now. Similarly, for borrows on all these markets, it's over 1,000%. And the reason for this is because since the program just launched, not a lot of people have interacted with it. So the sooner you start interacting with these markets, the higher the yield you'll be earning. And to start earning yield, if you're a holder of, say, Beta, DPI, MVI, or these other tokens, all you need to do is click deposit, select the amount of Beta that you want to deposit onto our protocol, approve the token, and then you'll deposit the Beta token, and you'll start immediately earning rewards. Same thing with like DPI, MVI, BED, E2X, FLI. If you own any of those tokens, go ahead and deposit them, and you'll be able to start earning rewards. And then for borrowing, if you are interested in, say, borrowing any of these tokens, or perhaps like short selling some of these tokens to hedge your risk, you'll also earn the borrow APY rewards for that. And so you'll either go here on the borrow page or the short page as well. And so one thing that we also do is on, say, like the short page, we'll show you the total APY that you'll be earning. So currently you'll have to pay about like 9% of interest when you're like shorting DPI, but the reward APY like offsets that cost. So essentially you're earning more beta or you're earning higher yields, even though you're like paying some costs to, say, like short or borrow a token. And so right now there's a lot of yield opportunities on Beta Finance for our users.
Yeah, and I mean, part of the reason I wanted to highlight this is there's a lot of liquidity already in these index co-op indexes. So I was just looking through this on the indexcoop.com website. They have a metaverse index, which is surprisingly, I think, lower than I would anticipate it being over the coming months, since there's kind of like a euphoria on TikTok amongst crypto investors about the metaverse. So anyways, it's around 72 million. And then the DPI index has about 188 million, and the ETH2X flexible leverage index, they use the acronym FLI, FLI. There is about 188 million in that. So anyways, easily $500 million, or did I just say that right? Yeah, $500 million. I think $500 million in liquidity in these different indexes. So if you're already holding that, this isn't financial advice, but just saying, take a look there. I mean, I think obviously some of the opportunities speak for themselves. The deposit side too is especially appealing to me because it's lending. So if I'm already holding that token, I might as well put it towards some like more productive use. I think the one risk to call out, well, amongst other risks, actually, is there's always going to be smart contract risk here, and so Beta Finance, like, you are exposed to their smart contracts, so just be aware of that. If anyone checks out the application or considers depositing. One last follow up on this page, Alan. If I deposit or borrow or short, the rewards that I'm accumulating, I will have to come back and claim those, right? Like, I'll have to pay some gas to claim those eventually.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
To jump in, so the way that the liquidity mining works for these rewards is that they happen in 2-week cycles. And then so every 2 weeks, we set up a new liquidity mining program, and then there will be rewards claimable 1 week after the current program ends. So this program started today, and it'll end in 2 weeks on December 8th. And then the rewards for these 2 weeks will be claimable on December 15th. And so you'll get your beta rewards approximately a month later after the initial like start date of the liquidity mining program. But because we have these periods like continuously, you're essentially going to be able to collect and claim your beta rewards every 2 weeks. And you can hop into this program at any time, take out your tokens at any time as well. And as you mentioned, like depositing is especially interesting because it's really a very low risk opportunity for people who are holding these tokens long to get into, and also for them to just earn like additional interest in their native token, but also get some exposure to the beta token as well. So it's kind of like a win-win.
One follow up there. If let's pretend that I'm lending or depositing the MVI index. Do I have to be in there until the end of the epoch to get those rewards, or are they just accumulating every block and I can claim them at the end of this like 2-week epoch?
Yeah, they're accumulating in real time. So we calculate this off chain, so you don't have to like leave the token in order to be able to like claim the rewards. If you like say deposit the token for like 3 days and then afterwards you want to remove it, then you'll be able to like earn the rewards for those 3 days and claim them at the end of the period. So no restrictions at all on duration.
Cool.
And
so
then
here, can we cover the other part of the mining program then, the LP staking?
Yeah, sounds good. So now that everyone has like a good understanding of the lending side and the liquidity mining program, we also have a staking incentives program for people who provide beta ETH LP on Uniswap V3. And so as like an LP provider, you're putting up beta tokens and ETH to provide liquidity on Uniswap V3 for people to execute swaps. And by doing so, we've created a program that will also give you the chance to earn additional beta as rewards. So what that looks like is if you're a user, you can come onto our dApp and to the Provide Liquidity tab, and start the process by just clicking in the Provide Liquidity button. And so we'll take you directly to the Uniswap interface where you'll be able to add liquidity for beta ETH. And so it's the 1% fees here. And so you can just like enter how much beta you want to add liquidity for, adjust these sliders for what price range you want to add it for, and then just add the tokens to the pool. And so if you're unsure about how to exactly set the price range, you're also able to set the price range to the full range, which will basically ensure you're earning rewards for staking your LP tokens. And cool. So now that you've added liquidity onto Uniswap V3, the next step is to stake those tokens. So if you've added if you have LP tokens, then you'll be able to see those LP tokens in the interface automatically. Our dApp will detect it for you. And say you have an LP token that's not staked yet, like this one. What you do is you just click deposit to stake, and then we'll tell you whether or not the price is in range. And so this one is right now. And so you'll just click this button again. Currently I'm spoofing on a fake wallet, so the transaction will not actually execute. But if you're on mainnet, just clicking this button will work.
This is what actually prompted wanting to do this. Is I haven't seen a program like this yet where we're using Uniswap V3 LPs, which I would argue have created some friction compared to like how commonly used Uniswap V2 LPs have been, or SushiSwap V2 LPs, or any sort of fork of those AMMs. So this is cool, and I wanted to highlight this too because I mean, obviously, because we live in an open source world, I'm hoping other builders will see this and potentially be able to utilize this. If you are incentivizing V3 LPs on Uniswap, this is a really clever way to ensure that you have to provide the liquidity in range, So we're not rewarding anyone for an LP that's out of range, even if I stake it like you showed there. So I deposit, let's say, into a certain range. I come to the DApp here. It detects whether or not it's in range. I can stake it. If it falls out of range, I'm no longer receiving those rewards, which is, more capital efficient. It's the way it should be done. We shouldn't be rewarding people for just, putting in multiple LPs that are out of range. Like, we should only be rewarding those that are in range. So anyways, Alan, am I missing anything there? Like, I just, that's what I thought was really clever about this.
Yeah, you said it perfectly, much better than how I would have explained it. But yeah, that's exactly the case. So that's why we chose to use this like staking program, as well as like Uniswap V3 as well, because it's kind of like new, cool, interesting tech that people can use in DeFi. And we are kind of one of the first protocols to kind of leverage this new technology. And so after you've deposited the token into the beta staker, you'll then need to stake it into the incentive programs. So when it's staked, you'll be able to click these two buttons, which will stake into the first program and the second program. And so right here, we also show a rough estimate of the APR that LP providers can earn from staking their beta ETH LP tokens that are in range. And so across these two programs right now, that's over 1,000% APR, which is very, very high. And so if you're looking for a way to like make your current beta holdings more capital efficient, then we highly encourage you to provide LP for the beta ETH pair on Uniswap V3. And so the first program will be ending on November 28th, while the second program just started yesterday and will last until January 7th. So you're guaranteed to be earning very high reward APR for providing beta ETH liquidity on Uniswap V3.
And then, Alan, if you're in the first program, if you've already been participating, after November 28th or before it, you do need to unstake and restake, right? Like, these are different contracts, or will people that are in the first program, will they be auto-enrolled into the second program?
Yeah, that's a good question. So they won't be auto-enrolled into the second program, but they don't need to unstake at all. So what that looks like is, say, for example, like this token right here was already staked in the first, or this LP token was already staked in the first program. And so all you need to do is click unstake to claim. And then what'll happen next is you'll click this first program will already be staked, and then the second program will have this like stake to incentive program button available. And so you can just click that button, and now it'll be staked into the second program without you having to like unstake your token entirely.
Okay, got it. So it's if I'm in program 1, it will require at least one transaction for me to start to earn in program 2. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm basically going to come here and click the stake to incentive program, the purple button at the very bottom there. So
yep.
Cool. And also, Alan, these contracts, these were developed by the Uniswap team?
Yeah, like the Uniswap V3 staker contract was developed by them.
Really cool.
So
yeah. I'm hoping other builders see this. I really like, again, I have not seen this done on another DApp, so it's cool to see this. I think this is clearly like setting another like best practice or standard for how we can do better liquidity mining.
Yeah, definitely. And so again, if you're interested in providing liquidity, all you need to do is navigate to our DApp and just follow kind of the instructions that you see here. And if you are also curious to learn more about like a step-by-step guide, then if you go to our Medium blog, so it's medium.com/betafinance, we also provide you like a walkthrough step-by-step of how to add liquidity and stake your tokens as well. Not sure why that image isn't loading, but everything else like walks you through, and we kind of like highlight the boxes that you need to click and everything.
Yeah, very cool. No, those are super helpful. One last reminder, I think like we're talking here in the context of for those of us like myself that already own tokens here that are available. That's why I want to highlight the opportunity. This is not a recommendation or an endorsement that people should be buying the tokens that are available for earning on beta finance. Like, per usual, do your own research and make your own decisions about that. But for the 500 million of liquidity that's already there in MVI BED, which stands for Bitcoin Ether DeFi Pulse Index, we've got the DPI itself. There's a lot of opportunities there that I wanted to highlight. But Alan, anything else you think is worth mentioning here? Did we basically cover it all?
Yeah, I think that covers everything. Hopefully everyone has a good idea of all the yield opportunities on beta finance right now, as well as like how they can also leverage beta finance in interesting ways for like DeFi trading strategies. And I will add that if you guys have any questions or like interested in learning more about beta finance, our Twitter is beta_finance. And then there's also a link tree to our socials like Discord, Telegram, Medium, etc. in our bio.
Awesome. Well, I'll also share, you can follow Beta Finance here on Twitter. The website is betafinance.org. And then also, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe at DeFiDad.com. That's that'll redirect you to the YouTube here. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to DM me on Twitter at DeFi_Dad. I really am like always looking for like what's like new and interesting money Legos that others should learn about. And like I said, there's a bunch of really interesting things here that are being done with beta finance. Not to mention also, I am excited for, and I'll try to like send out more updates on this when it comes. I am very interested in how other protocols will be able to list their tokens on beta finance to be able to enable borrowing against that token. That's one of the friction points right now with money markets like Aave or Compound is there's a governance vote that has to happen to list those tokens before you can borrow against them. So anyways, hope everybody enjoyed learning about this. And Alan, thanks for your time, man. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks, DeFi Dad.
All right. Bye, everyone. Have a happy Thanksgiving.